Howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas, and in this video we're going to be ripping into an absolute brand new Mattel Turtles of Grayskull action figure. That is right, my friends. Tonight we have with us Beast Man. That's awesome. So one thing I've learned about Beast Man over the years in social media is that if you're a Beast Man fan, you're like a hardcore, die-hard Beast Man fan. Is that the case? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of strange, this is like the weirdest of all of the action figures so far because I truly don't know how Beast Man aligns with the storyline, but we'll find out in a minute why. But anyways, it just looks like it's a typical, like, straight-up Origins Beast Man with just samurai armor added to him, which is cool. Samurai armor looks really awesome, and we'll see how it fits on other action figures. If you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more content like this show up into your YouTube newsfeed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It truly helps out the channel, and thank you so much to all of my subscribers. If you like the content of this video, if you're just a straight-up Beast Man fan, give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment below letting me know what you think of the Mattel Turtles of Grayskull Undercover Henchmen. So undercover probably gives it away, right? I'm still confused. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I'm gonna catch you after this quick break. Here it is, my friends. Before we rip open the package, we got to take a close look at it because it is nice looking. So we've seen this packaging multiple times now on this channel. This is the antagonist packaging. Obviously, at the top left, we have Skeletor. Top right, we have Shredder. It says Turtles of Grayskull in gloss. Everything else is a semi-gloss. It says Beast Man Undercover Henchman. This is a little bit confusing to me, but here's the massive blister right here showing off the action figure. You could probably tell it's just a regular Beast Man in there. Just, you know, with samurai armor on it. There's this massive burst in the background, which is typically red and red-orange, but no, because of the U's, and because this is Turtles of Grayskull, it is purple and green. Very cool. I love that. Right here we have a clear sticker on the blister. It says Masters of the Universe, that really nice logo. X, Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Down here on the right we have the Mattel logo, and flipping over to the back we have a really nice comic book style drawing. Up at the top left, we have the Masters of the Universe logo again. On the top right, we have Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. We can see the Castle Grayskull bricks that are green, and there's some sort of purple light hitting the back of it. And then we have this picture, it's kind of confusing to me. We have Beast Man fighting mutated Moss Man. Shouldn't they be on the same side? I don't know. And then we have a giant Skeletor head in the background, which is super reminiscent of the mini comics that came with the action figures in the 1980s, specifically the covers. So right here, I'm going to let you read this right here. Moving down, we have this picture right here of how you can remove the helmet from Beast Man. And as you see right there, it looks like a typical Origin style Beast Man. Remove Beast Shido helmet. Here we have our cross sale. We have Ram Man, we have Raphael, Shredder, and Beast Man. So after we open this one, the last one we have to do is Shredder. This is the domestic version. Here is the barcode in case you need it. This whole package is recyclable, as you see right there. Let's go ahead and just rip this open. So I finally got a comment about how I actually open these, and this is how I do it. Just stick my thumb down inside. There's like a hole right here. You can stick your thumb inside there, and then just work your thumb up this way, like this, and just keep kind of like pulling down. I'm going to do it again on the other side. Just work my thumb up here while pulling down and trying to not get too much of that paper off of the card. Just enough so I could slide this out. So we're going to pull out our comic book here. I'm going to pull out our bubble inside of the blister. And see, that way you can actually, I guess, keep it. It just kind of looks nice, right? Look at this action figure inside the bubble. We do have some plastic bands, but take a look at that shield. That looks very familiar. It almost looks like the shield from Man-at-Arms. And behind here we have this steel whip. Very cool. I love the chain link whip like that. It looks awesome. In person, like up close, just looking at the bubble, this action figure looks incredible. If you haven't seen the comic book yet, I could flip through it right now with you. This is where it gets a bit confusing to me, is in this storyline, right? Especially with Beast Man. So here we have like a bunch of protagonists, they're just sitting around, and Beast Man just shows up and Teela starts beating his shit out of him. So then after a while, Beast Man's inside this cage and he says that he can't stand the, you know, the foot and what they did, and Shredder and everybody, what they did to some of these evil warriors of Snake Mountain. As you see here, we have Mousejaw, Beastman, and we have Faker, and we have, that's kind of weird, isn't he supposed to be Slacker? And then we have Merman up here, and then we could see, like, everybody's coming in. There's Krang, and then Krang's shaking hands with Skeletor, and you see Shredder in the background, and then you see He-Man being mutated, and then Beastman kind of runs away, right? So once he runs away, that's when he sneaks into Castle Grayskull and gets stuck, or gets caught, rather, by Teela, and then put inside of this cage. They let him out of the cage so that he can lead them into Snake Mountain, where it turns out he was just a bad guy all along. So that's, I guess that's it. We really did get 3 antagonists in this wave, and just Raphael as the protagonist. I don't know, this is weird to me, right? Why does this show him fighting Mossman? Is that just to confuse you whenever you're purchasing this in the store? I don't. Either way, I like it. I'm a big fan of it. And as we see here, Metal Botto, that is awesome. This is Roboto X Metalhead, and that just looks absolutely crazy. I can't wait to put that action figure together. But here's the cross sale on the back. We've already opened up Ram Man and Raphael. We're opening up Beastman right now, and the next is Shredder, my friends. All right, so let's take a look at the directions right here and what you can actually remove from this action figure. So obviously the helmet, the head, the arms at the shoulders, the hands. We can break the action figure in half at the waist with a peg, and then we can remove the feet if we'd like to do any part swapping. Obviously we could take off more stuff, like I'm pretty sure we could take off all of the armor and stuff, and we'll take a look at that in this video. So I'm gonna cut off all of these bands and I will be right back. Okay, my friends, so this is everything that you get in the bubble right here. We get this action figure with all of this really nice looking armor right here. And then we get this whip right here, which is essentially a solid piece of plastic. So it kind of stays in that shape. If you bend it out of shape, it just goes right back. Still looks really cool. And then we have this shield right here. Very nice looking shield. Hopefully it attaches to his back, does not. But it does have the pegs right there, so you can, you know, probably attach it somewhere or to some other action figure. So let's take a look at details, my friends. Let's start with that head. That looks awesome, right? That armor looks crazy. I love the Oni mask right there. That is very cool. And just everything about this armor is absolutely awesome, like fantastic. I love the arm guards right here. I love the colors that they chose. This is like a brownish white color. And then we have a shiny gold, and then we have a shiny blue, and that seems to be the theme throughout, minus this off-white color, which probably was meant to be on some of these other parts. Maybe some of the other parts on here, but that's okay. The action figure itself is like a flat orange finish. I love that. It's like a matte, flat finish, even like his little, I guess it's a bracer. It's really tiny little, you know, studded bracelet right here. He's got 2 gripping hands. And on the back of his hand right here is just a simple hand. On the back of this hand, it looks kind of different right there. This piece of armor is like this piece right here that typically comes with Beastman is like a deep brownish red color. And then we have the gold and the blue. It looks like it's definitely airbrushed right into it in the center there. We do have fur sculpted into the legs and into the forearms and into the chest, as you see right there. And yeah, it just looks absolutely awesome. Flipping over to the back, we can see the fur sculpted into the back, continues from the front. We do have that vintage style buckle right here holding on this samurai armor piece right here. And the loincloth is blue, and it looks like his belt underneath there is yellow. And we can see the fur sculpted into the back of the legs. Looks absolutely awesome. Let's take a look at the face. This is the Beastman face that comes with the Mattel Turtles of Grayskull Beastman action figure. That's awesome. The paint job is really good. I love that. I love how his eyes are just black. It looks very menacing. He's got like those big teeth. Kind of looks like he's making like a, I don't know, like he's growling all the time. He has this massive beard that's sculpted in with fur. Yeah, see, you could just remove the armor. That's easy, right? This piece comes right off. As you see here, like the actual muscles are very toned, very deep. And this is like a fairly large action figure as far as like bulkiness goes, you know, compared to like maybe some of the new Masterverse stuff. These muscles seem like they're just a lot bigger. Let's go ahead and take off this typical Beastman armor right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just remove that here, and we can see the fur that is sculpted into the chest. Very nice looking action figure. This piece right here is like a very soft rubber. You take a look at the back there in the front, or the top rather. And then I forgot to mention, this is like, maybe it actually is like a soft rubber, and it has a lot of support, and there's like a cross beam right here that goes down to this, and this portion right here is very thick, so making it feel like it's a lot stronger than what it really is. This piece right here is also like a soft finish piece right here. Let's go ahead and remove that. I'll take off this other piece of armor on his arm, and we can see this is like a straight up Origin style Beastman, right? that's how I would describe it. I don't have the Origin style Beastman to compare, unfortunately. So it says 2020 Mattel on the back. So I'm guessing maybe this was reused because this is 2024 when these action figures are coming out. But the belt, I'm sorry, yeah, like the metal belt right here is typical with the Origin style action figures, is like a flat yellow. And then his loincloth is like a semi-gloss blue, and it has fur sculpted in. But yeah, this is Beastman, all right, the one that comes with the Turtles of Grayskull. And his last piece of armor, this piece right here, is just a soft rubber, and we can take a look at those details. That looks really, really nice up close. They even sculpted in like some of the stitching, like holding the plates together. Let's take a look at some of the accessories that aren't armor. Let's start with this whip right here. You know, Beastman typically comes with some type of whip. This one seems like it's made out of a very sharp, jagged metal, which is like a blue steel, maybe. It's very shiny. It looks really nice. Not like chrome finish or anything, but still very shiny. It looks like it was meant to be some type of metal. And it has a bunch of links in it. Like, I feel like if this were like a real full-size whip, this could probably go through the wall in my house. So, yeah, this is quite scary. And then we have this giant spike here. It looks like a blade at the top. So, makes it even scarier. The handle looks awesome, and the handle even has a blade at the bottom. So maybe it can also act as some sort of crazy throwing weapon. Here we have this nice shield right here. This looks really, really cool, right? This is like a, I don't know, semi-shiny paint finish on it, and then we have gold wrapped around it, and it's in that typical like Turtles of Grayskull style turtle shell with rivets in it. You can definitely tell it's supposed to be some kind of metal. It just looks absolutely awesome. So next thing we're taking a look at is articulation, my friends. So we start with the head. Let's see if he can look up. Yes, absolutely can look up. Can look down about that far, kind of like looking straight ahead. Not very much down. We do get a little bit of tilt back and forth, and this is definitely on a ball joint, as you see right there. His head's kind of soft, actually. Moving down to the arm, we do have a hinge right here, and this is definitely on a peg, so it could swivel. The peg points downwards towards the pelvis, typical Origin style. There's what the peg looks like. So you can definitely swap out parts with your Origins action figures if you do have them. Down here at the elbow, we do have a swivel, and we have a nice hinge. So down here at the hand, we do have a hinge, and the hinge is in the palm, so it kind of goes this way rather than up and down. And it swivels, obviously, because it is, in fact, on a peg. Take a look at that. Typical Origin style peg. Down here at the waist, we do have a swivel. We don't have any type of ab crunch, but when you swivel, you do kind of see a little bit of cut there. As you see, there's like part of this like sticks out over the edge right here. That's okay. Moving down to the pelvis, we do have two ball joints right there, so we can get him in a really nice kick position. He just can barely see where he's going to kick, so I'm just going to remove the head and just put it like this. Moving down to the knee, we swivel at the knee, and we have a nice hinge, and then we have a boot cut, which swivels, can go up 360, very nice. Down at the foot, we do have a hinge, and we have a rocker. Very, very cool. So now, let's put all of this armor back on and see what the articulation is like with the armor on. So I'm gonna be honest with you, this action figure smells weird. Like, it's giving off a really strong, like, plasticky off gas, right? Anyways, here is the action figure with all of the armor on. Let's take a look at articulation now. We can see he doesn't look up very far because his head's hitting this back piece right here. little bit of tilt even with this big samurai helmet on. Still can't look down too far, but can a little bit. And you want to make sure that you line up the eye holes of the armor with his eyes. This helmet doesn't really snap on. In fact, when I was taking the action figure out of the bubble, it fell off. So it's pretty loose on there, sits on there very loose. If we move the arm up and down, we can see what's happening with the helmet right there. They put these cuts in the armor, like this cut right here, as you can see. And the helmet kind of fits in that cut. So you can, in fact, do poses like this. Like if you have a samurai with like a katana or something, you can get some really nice poses. So the leg movement is not hindered too much because of this part having actual cuts in it, which is awesome. I feel like they should all have cuts in them. The twist at the torso looks much better with the armor on because you can't see that plastic part sticking off like the brake at the waist. That's very cool. That looks a lot better with the armor on. Man, this armor looks really cool. Really, really makes this action figure look very unique, to be honest with you. All right, let's move on to accessories, right? Let's see if can he hold this big old whip made out of some sort of metal. Yeah, he can. What's really cool about the helmet is like if you look closely, you can still see the paint, the blue paint marks under his eyes, like the battle paint or whatever that is. All right, go ahead and hold the shield. Come on, just barely holds the shield. He holds onto the whip really well, but the shield kind of doesn't want to stay in this palm, or in this grip rather. As you can see here, it's like snapping it into place. You kind of have to like not move it once you do, unfortunately. But there we go. This is the Samurai Beast Man. This is bananas looking. So here's a phrase I never thought that I would say. This is He-Man wearing samurai armor. This is He-Man from the cartoon collection. And it fits on there kind of, like as you see here, the helmet really doesn't want to go all the way down on his head. And it falls off very easily. And if you put it on straight, it doesn't go down to his eyes. So I kind of had to angle it downwards, like towards his face, and then press down on it. And that way you can actually see his eyes through the, I don't know if you can see that or not in the video. Yeah, you kind of see, yeah, there you go. You can see his eyes through the actual samurai helmet. So it does fit on this action figure, even though this action figure is a little bit bigger. You just kind of have, because this is rubber, it's very malleable, and it'll just go back once you pull it off because it's kind of stretched right now. But it doesn't look too bad, actually. It's kind of weird to see like a half-naked samurai, to be honest with you, but hey, you could do it if you want. As for the Masterverse He-Man, I don't think this definitely won't fit over the waist. Even if you force the legs through like I had to do with this Turtles of Grayskull He-Man armor, I don't think this is going to be able to fit on there. You could just look at it and see that the opening here is too small, and this doesn't stretch by any means. Like, it doesn't even though it's rubber, this part won't stretch. And I feel like if you did try to stretch it, there's a weakness right on the sides, and it might break. You probably get away with doing a cut. Like if you really, really wanted to put this on a Masterverse figure, you could probably do a cut to put it on there, but I'm not going to do that. So we can't really put the armor on Duncan because, you know, the helmet doesn't come off of this action figure. So let's go ahead and try Skeletor. Let's see if this fits on Skeletor. Absolutely not. Yeah, and if you angle it down, it just looks like the samurai is constantly looking down for him to line up his eyes with it. So it definitely won't fit on Skeletor, probably due to the big hood right here. Okay, so this is probably the most obvious test that we should do, is to try this armor on an Origin style Beastman. But like I said before, I don't have one, but I do have the cartoon collection one, and we could try it on here. Let's see if well, let's first test the helmet. This one has pointy ears that stick out and a different shaped head. Hey, look at that. It fits. You can see his eyes through it. It doesn't really attach to his head, though, the way it does to the other. It's kind of neat because, like, you could see his beard sticking out of the bottom. Yeah, it doesn't really attach the way it does to this action figure's head. But it's, I mean, it's not doing that bad of a job. Let's keep going with this. So I don't know what's up with this shield, but like none of the action figures really want to hold this shield. You can get it to snap in, but once you do, you can't touch it or else it'll just fall out of the action figure's hands. So I'm just going to put it like that. You want to put the helmet on very gently so the shield doesn't fall off. Pull down that piece right there. There we go. Very nice. So there is the cartoon collection Beast Man wearing this samurai outfit. Yeah, the helmet just really doesn't want to stay. I feel like the helmet's only made for Beast Man. If you take a look at it, there's even ridges in there for Beast Man's head. It's like whenever they made the sculpt for this, they just went, okay, hand me a big ball of clay, and then just went like this and just pushed his head into it. But, I mean, it's kind of close. This looks really cool. I don't know what about it is. All of these colors together look really awesome to me. And I wish this helmet would stay on here because that would be awesome. I mean, I can get it to stay. I'd probably use probably sticky tack inside of there if I were going to do toy photography with this. But as you can see there, like you could see his eyes. Like it goes all the way down. And it looks like it fits over this piece right here, like this fur loincloth, crossbody armor thing he's got going on. It fits over there pretty well. And I don't know, this just looks really awesome to me. Oh my god. So this is the samurai version of Beast Man from the Turtles of Grayskull line from Mattel. I like having the vintage style looking Beast Man. That looks awesome. I just feel like the Mattel kind of rushed this action figure. You need to see he doesn't want to hold on to any of the accessories like pretty much at all, and it's like they just fall out of his hands. I don't know. I feel like Mattel could have done a much better job. If you take a look at Beast Man from the comic book, he's humongous. He's like as big as the new Eternium Masterverse version of Beast Man was. Like he's huge in the comic book, but then he's just like he should have been deluxe. Like I feel like this could have been easily a deluxe action figure for this toy line. It wasn't, unfortunately. Anyways, I would love to know what you think about this action figure. Please drop a comment below letting me know what you think of the Turtles of Grayskull Samurai Shido Beast Man. This thing really reeks of like some sort of plastic off gas. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and remember, collect and shoot.